What would be number 3 on your list?
Number 3 on my list is Dunkirk from Christopher Nolan.
I have that at number 1.
Hell yeah. Man, this is, before we get into it, this is another movie that I think the common criticism that people had is just so dumb. Oh, the timeline stuff, it's kind of doesn't make sense. Why did he have to go all Nolan on it? I'm like, it's not confusing.
It's not that
1
confusing.
hour, 1 day, 1 week.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, can't keep that straight. Too hard. Yeah, man. This movie, when I think about it, I feel so much anxiety because that's how I felt the entire movie. I was a ball of anxiety basically from like the 10-minute mark on. It was crazy.
Yeah. So tense.
Yeah. Well, why did it fall to number 3 on your list? Why did you have it so high?
Yeah. I mean, for starters, Tom Hardy wears a mask again, and it's not a bad thing. As the pilot. The whole arc of his character, especially how it ends, I thought was beautiful. But yeah, so it's funny. There's been 3 movies this year about like Churchill. Darkest Hour, the other one that was 22 in my list. Gary Oldman's performance we'll be talking about come Oscar time, but that movie references the events of Dunkirk, and then Christopher Nolan's like the companion piece about the actual event of the battle and whatnot, or the evacuation, not really battle. But I thought you have the goat Rylance just crushing it in a sweater on a boat. You have Harry Styles somehow really overachieving as an actor, and then you just have like British Tumblr boy A, what's his name, Fionn Whitehead, right?
Yep.
But I mean the performances are great across. Barry Keoghan is George, who dies, right? He's in Killing of Sacred Deer. He's another rising star. So the performance, it's just, and Kenneth Branagh, fucking
Killing
mugging on the oh yeah, of course, Nolan favorite. I mean the performance, it's such a stacked cast. Of course, Nolan has the kind of pull, but his attention to detail with the camera. I mean, everyone should have seen his movies by now if you listen to this. But again, he breaks new ground. I mean, the idea of him doing a war movie it's kind of like a like a fantasy proposition, but the fact that he actually did it and gave it his own touch. I mean, the score, the 35 millimeter experience, if you saw that, I mean, everything about it's just such an experience. And it's just such a powerful film. And I mean, if you just want to relegate it to being a war movie, I mean, it's the best war movie since at least The Hurt Locker. Now it's in 09. If not better. It's quite the experience.
Yeah, and I saw a recent criticism about how there isn't enough character work in the movie, and I think that was actually the point, was that you don't get to know a lot of these characters, because these characters weren't people that really mattered in like the larger scheme of things. But in terms of this battle, there were just these pieces about about this overall struggle and this desperation. I mean, for like the first hour and 30 minutes of the movie, it's just dead end after dead end after dead end until finally Mark Rylance leading those like tugboats across the channel. I mean, it's man, I really can't say enough. And like you talked about the score, the way like the way that he shot certain things, like when you hear the planes coming in, but you don't actually see them, and then you just see them all like duck their heads, and like just the sheer terror in their faces. It's
in synchronization.
Yep. It was just amazing. This movie, I think, is the one that stuck with me the most. And you said it probably best, but just as a war movie, it's probably one of the most realistic depictions of war at that time that we've had. I mean, think about like Saving Private Ryan, that like opening scene, but like for a whole movie to focus on this one battle that was like a week long, but just phenomenal. Can't say enough. What was your number 2?
Well, one last thing on Nolan is going to get a lot of nominations, but Nolan's never won Best Director, and this is kind of interesting Oscar year. We'll talk about this at a later date more as Pat, you see more Oscar movies, and we do our predictions. But I don't know if there's a true front runner for Best Director this year, despite a lot of great films. So I wonder if Nolan could perhaps finally, crack that code.